What if things don't end up like out of ideas that were perceived by others as crazy as most achievements throughout the course of human history were? You know, as a child, you place your value on what feels right in the present. You're not thinking about 2 years down the road or wondering what others are going to think. Your creativity and your sense of exploration are running on all cylinders. Then something happens. We begin to understand the way of things. We see what's valued in society. We see what's expected. We see how success is defined. And so begins our ascent up the ladder. And rung by rung we climb, looking above us, below us, to see where others are, see how fast they've moved in relation to us. And eventually this coincides with how we see ourselves, and as you know, how you see yourself is the best indicator of what you will become. Which is why when so many people aren't happy with their day-to-day, that's a huge red flag. That's breathing, that's not living. Folks have been climbing this ladder their entire lives and never stop to ask if it's where they were meant to be. Maybe the top of the community ladder isn't what you want, but you never thought. You only acted. And if you don't think it, if you don't ask yourself the question, you will climb and you will climb and you will climb until you burn out. I try and spend a few minutes every day thinking about this. It's the most important thing I can spend time on. It's my life. Don't act because you're supposed to. Act because you so desperately want to that there's no other option. Because you couldn't live without the adventure. You couldn't pass on the experience. Here's a secret. If you become fixated on a life that means nothing to you, at some point you will probably get to the top, and from there you will have a beautiful view of everything you missed out on. So maybe there is something to the whole chasing firefly routine. Maybe a 4-year-old running after a glowing bug with a jar deserves more credit than he's given. Why is it that some people maintain that winning mentality? They expect greatness out of everything they do, and others have the opposite mentality. They see greatness as a far-off thing, like something you see in the window of a store. Something to just look at, to dream about. Not realistic. Why? We all know the formula. Sacrifice. And working hard enough at anything, it will get you results. You'll make progress. The problem is belief. People see greatness as something other than themselves, something beyond them, beyond their capabilities. The thought is not entertained. Look where you are now, where you have been. It has no impact on where you can go and what can happen in the future. The possibility of something better is always there. If you want to win, you need to see yourself as a winner. You need to associate with winning. No champion ever got there accidentally. They knew they belonged with the best. So before another minute goes by, ask yourself whether you do. Because that simple. Acknowledgement opens the door to infinite possibility. The most important story in our lives is the story untold. Where there are no flaws, there are no setbacks. Just an open road mode. The story untold is where you step away from the world behind your eyes and you embrace the one that's in front of them, right? This story is different. You can't touch it, you can't grasp it, but you can feel it. It's not our past self, right? It's not that fiction that we become tied to and mistakenly identify with. It's something different. It's anything different. It's a blank page. It's a new chapter. It's an opportunity to bring to life all those times we said, I wish. You want to tell whatever story you want to tell. There is just no greater freedom. And when you step back, when you really assess, you realize that life is a collection of stories of events that unfolded as we allowed them to, and told through our experiences and perspectives. The only truths that exist are the ones we believe. The only facts out there are the ones we've agreed to accept. We are merely authors, writers, and creators. If you're not happy with your storyline changes, that's the beauty of life. You can make yourself the hero. We don't live for the final product. We live for the journey, the adventure, the joy of the process, tackling the unknown and turning it into something of beauty. That's why we get up every day. That's why landscapes, oceans, and skylines run away with our imagination. They're representative of what makes us feel alive. Sometimes it becomes extremely easy to forget that. The degree, the championship, the executive position, these things we seek, they are validation, but they are not life. What you do every day is life. How you turn ordinary things into extraordinary things. Cherish the time you spend. There is nothing of greater importance. Sandcastles will not stand forever. The tide, the wind, a million things will assist in bringing the sand back to its original form. Just like us, its time is finite. But the joy of creating such a masterpiece can never be lost. That's why we build. You most likely won't focus on how tough the climbs were. You probably won't remember the battles and the struggles. What you'll remember are the moments of victory, the times when you were able to do something significant, to contribute to the world, to help and be near those who mean the most to you. Study after study shows that the biggest regret of people with limited time left is living according to the expectations of others. Not having lived a life that was true to themselves. We are fortunate enough to have that wisdom now. Why would we not act on it? Don't let yourself be the person who looks back and dreams about what if. Do your dreaming in the present. We're all writing our stories. Make yours a thriller. Make it a bestseller. Live now. Let that fear fade away. In your mind, there may be a negative narrative that distorts your self-image, causing you to see flaws and criticize your appearance when you look in the mirror. But let's change that perspective, because self-confidence starts with you. Notice that the word self is right there. I cannot hand you confidence on a silver platter, but I can offer you a boost, provide you with tools, and offer encouragement. However, true confidence is forged within you. Here's an important truth about confidence. You are already a confident person, which is why you miss feeling that way. We can only miss what we know. You've simply been disconnected from that feeling. Regardless of where you currently stand in life, I assure you that confidence resides within you. You just need to uncover how to tap into it. Holding on to anything that doesn't serve you is a great mistake. Such clinging will only cause problems, and you might find yourself blaming others or external circumstances for your struggles. But in reality, you are the root of the problem. I once received valuable advice from a humble man. He used to tell me, "You're the only problem you'll ever have, and you're the only solution." It took me 5 years to fully grasp the meaning, but now I understand. And you know what? He was right. I am indeed the only problem I'll ever have, and I am also the only solution. Let go of anything that doesn't serve you. Embrace the beauty of your mind's inductive reasoning factor, the part that chooses thoughts. You have the power to accept or reject any thought or belief that enters your world. It's a conscious choice. So don't hold on to anything that doesn't serve your growth. When we adopt a victim mentality, we misuse our personal power and become helpless. However, if we choose to take responsibility for our lives, we no longer waste time blaming external factors. Some people feel guilty for experiencing illness, poverty, or problems, wrongly interpreting responsibility as guilt. The media often refers to this as New Age guilt. These individuals tend to feel guilty because they believe they have failed in some way. However, it's crucial to understand that accepting responsibility does not equate to making oneself wrong. When we view our problems and illnesses as opportunities for personal growth and change, we tap into our power. Remember this: life is a battle for territory. If you stop fighting for what you desire, what you don't want will automatically take over. In the past, people often saw themselves as victims of circumstances, believing that life hadn't bestowed upon them the same blessings others enjoyed. But the truth is, your issues don't lie outside of you. We used to ask the universe for things, thinking it was the provider. However, we now know that our struggles stem from internal factors, our subconscious beliefs, which were imprinted during childhood. Think about the things parents say while raising a child. "You don't deserve this," or "Who do you think you are?" Although parents don't mean these statements to shape the child's entire life, they use them as a push, hoping for a positive change. Around 95% of our lives are influenced by these subconscious programs. If disempowering beliefs from others are deeply ingrained in your perception of self, it's no wonder you face daily challenges. Yes, you may desire success, great relationships, and good health. But your conscious mind accounts for only 5% of your day. The remaining 95% is dominated by these subconscious programs, many of which are negative, self-sabotaging, and disempowering. So it's time to break free from this struggle. It's not because the universe is failing to provide, it's because your own consciousness is resisting acceptance. This is where change must occur. Take control of your mind, seize command of your consciousness, and transcend these limitations. There are various ways to reclaim control in your life. For instance, in practices like yoga, you become the master of your mind, preventing it from wandering aimlessly. You decide what to focus on and what to let go of. Overcoming your old self allows you to transform into someone new. During this transition, often referred to as the void, when things may seem stagnant, you must persevere and continue until you reach the end of your limiting beliefs, where most people tend to give up. Recently, I had an incredible conversation with someone who broke through to the other side. Now, magic surrounds her because she now recognizes her worthiness to receive it. This realization is key because the universe grants us what we believe we deserve. So we must internalize this understanding and acknowledge the thousands of years of programming that convinced us change had to occur in the material realm, in the three-dimensional reality. However, it's time to shift our focus to the quantum field and create from that space rather than being bound by material constraints. This transition requires unlearning, rewiring our minds to mentally rehearse new patterns. At the end of each day, ask yourself, how did I do? Did I live up to my highest potential? Reflect on the moments you fell from grace and contemplate how you can evolve your experiences. You might search for guidance, seek out role models, or engage in deep introspection. The next time you face a challenging situation, consider how you can respond differently. Mentally visualize yourself taking empowered actions. This practice begins to rewire your brain, creating the neurological pathways as if you have already made those positive choices. Your brain is no longer a record of the past, but a map to the future. Keep installing this mental hardware and it will become a software program, leading you to naturally embody happiness. There's no magic here, it's simply the result of installing the right circuits. This practice is more crucial than watching the news, answering emails, or dwelling on the past. If you desire external self-confidence, you must cultivate internal integrity. The foundation of self-confidence lies in living consistently with your deepest values and principles while aligning your thoughts and actions with your highest aspirations. Individuals who possess unwavering self-confidence are those who wholeheartedly believe in what is right, good, and worthwhile, and they reflect these convictions in their words and deeds. Everything they say and do emanates from their innermost beliefs. Even when your world crumbles around you, as long as you know you are doing the right thing, you will experience a profound sense of calm. This inner peace will manifest as confidence and self-assurance in any situation. Life is full of ups and downs, but staying true to yourself is paramount. Your authentic values are expressed through your actions, what you choose to do. Your true character is revealed when you face difficult choices, especially when torn between opposing demands or responsibilities. Your actions in such moments unveil your deepest values or lack thereof. It's not about what you say, hope, wish, or intend. It's solely about what you do. Your actions unveil the truth of who you are. You can develop an exceptional set of values by acting as though you already possess those values. By behaving with integrity, courage, compassion, and confidence, even when faced with conflicting emotions, you hasten the transformation of these qualities into a permanent part of your being. The more you practice living by these positive values, the more rapidly you become an extraordinary individual. To unlock unshakable self-confidence, essential keys are self-control, self-mastery, and self-discipline. Confidence can emerge directly through self-assured behavior, but more often, it arises indirectly through actions, behaviors, and practices that lead to self-confidence. The most significant self-development practice is living consistently in alignment with your highest values at every opportunity. Our greatest gift in life is the power of transformation, just one decision away. Every decision we make holds the potential to change our path, experiences, beliefs, and identity, leading us towards an entirely different life. It's remarkable to think that everything we once knew about ourselves can be discarded with a single swing of the axe. The past may have shaped our identity, but it's an imaginary world that no longer serves us. Responsibilities and sacrifices, but knowing that I can shape my own destiny made me question what I was sacrificing for. Where was I going? Who was I surrounding myself with? Was I living a life true to myself? Time passes by quickly, and it's not guaranteed. No one will remind us that we're just going through the motions. We have to take a look in the mirror and ask ourselves the tough questions. We have the tools and the ability to create the life we want, but it requires action and intention. Today might be the day to cut away the parts of our life that no longer serve us. It's time to let go of people, places, and things that don't contribute to our well-being. We don't have to live on repeat if we're not happy. We have the power to change anything in our lives. We often box ourselves in and adapt to a reality that falls short of what truly matters to us. But we must remember that nothing happens without momentum, and momentum is something we create. We are not just characters in this story, we are creators. I've experienced ups and downs in my personal journey, and I believe it's a healthy sign of growth. It's important to look for those imaginary ropes that tie us down and break free from them. By pushing ourselves, trying new things, and taking risks, we can create momentum and feel the excitement. Thank you, and God bless you. Find a way. You, because you possess immense strength. Anything less than a solution or progress signifies surrender, and that's not who you are. Embrace discomfort today, as it will become a source of pride tomorrow. The choice to persevere carries more significance than it seems in difficult times. It's easy to turn back, but your path lies in moving forward, even through darkness. Realize that those some days look a lot like today. As we grow, our some days evolve. The chase never ends. There's always something more, something new. Seize the opportunity, believe in yourself, and create the future you desire. I have discovered that nothing in life holds true value unless you embrace risks. Absolutely nothing. Nelson Mandela once shared that there is no fulfillment in playing small and settling for a life that falls short of your true potential. Throughout your journey in school, college applications, selecting a major, and determining your life's path, I am certain that people have advised you to have a backup plan. Ensure you have something to fall back on, they say. But personally, I never quite grasped the concept of relying on a safety net. If I'm going to stumble, I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to fall forward. At least that way, I will witness the obstacle before me. Without perseverance, you will never reach the finish line. So pursue what ignites your passion. Embrace your passions. Take risks. Do not fear failure. Allow me to share an anecdote about an old IQ test involving 9 dots. The task was to connect 5 of those dots using only a pencil without lifting it. The only way to succeed was to venture beyond the confines of the dots. Do not be afraid to think beyond the conventional. Do not be afraid to fail on a grand scale, to dream big. However, bear in mind, dreams without goals are merely dreams. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times during his baseball career, setting a record for the most strikeouts in history. Yet people do not remember the strikeouts. They remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Were you aware of that? I wasn't, until I learned that the 1,001st experiment led to the invention of the light bulb. Fall forward. Every failed experiment brings you one step closer to success. You must be willing to take risks. You have probably heard this advice before, but allow me to explain why it holds such immense importance. At some point in your life, you will experience failure. Accept it. You will face defeat. You will embarrass yourself. You will stumble in your endeavors. Undoubtedly, this may not seem like a conventional message for a graduation ceremony, but hey, I am telling you this because it is inevitable. In the field of acting, failure is an ever-present companion. Early in my career, I auditioned for a role in a Broadway musical. It seemed like the perfect fit, except for one minor detail. I couldn't sing. I did not get the part. However, here's what happened next. I did not quit. I did not retreat to prepare for the next audition, and the next, and the next. I persisted, I persevered despite continuous failures, but that did not deter me. You know why? Because there is an old saying, if you spend enough time in a barbershop, eventually you'll get a haircut. You will. Sooner or later, you will catch a break. And finally, last year, I got my opportunity. I performed in a play on Broadway, and guess what? It was at the Court Theater, the very same theater where I had failed my initial audition 3 decades prior. The message here is that every graduate present today possesses the training and talent required for success. But do you possess the courage to fail? You do. If you never fail, you are not truly exerting yourself. I will reiterate. If you never fail, you are not truly striving to obtain what you have never had. You must do something you have never done. Imagine yourself on your deathbed. Surrounding you are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. Ghosts symbolizing the ideas you never acted upon, the talents you left dormant. They encircle your bed, filled with anger, disappointment, and regret. They will say, "We approached you because only you could have brought us to life, but now we must depart together to the grave." So I ask you today, how many ghosts will linger beside your bed when your time comes? I recently returned from South Africa, a magnificent country. Yet there are regions plagued by severe poverty that desperately need assistance. Africa is just the beginning. The Middle East, Japan, Alabama, Tennessee, Louisiana, Philadelphia, all require your aid. The world demands much, and it seeks it from you. Yes, we genuinely do. We need it from the younger generation. I do not speak on behalf of the rest of the individuals present here, but I know I'm growing older. We need it from you, the young people. And remember this, you must go out into the world and give it everything you have, whether it is your time, your talent, your prayers, or your resources. What will you do with what you possess? I am not referring to the quantity you possess. Some of you stand up. Are you tuned into what I'm saying? And every day, there are 24 precious hours. Rise up. Rise up this very moment from the depths of your despair. Stand up now and commence your ascent. Stand up now and acknowledge your true self. Stand. Rise up now and declare, enough is enough. Fight for it. Seize command of your life as you rise from your slumber and embark upon your day before stepping outside that door. Make peace within yourself. So what if you stumbled? So what if you fell? Stand up now and ascend. With each mountain you scale, the challenge intensifies. Thus, I urge you to rise. Concentrate on conquering today. This is your moment, the moment of reckoning, to grasp that within you lie immense possibilities. I speak to those who comprehend that true grit is born of labor. Let me elucidate on grit. Grit is when agony weighs heavily upon you. Grit is when anguish gnaws at your core, yet you know you have a duty to fulfill. Grit propels you in a different direction altogether. How do you surmount obstacles? By persistently ascending. Fall, rise, falter, rise. Ascend. Understand that you are destined for something greater. You are not crafted for insignificance. Realize that what did not shape you cannot shatter you. Focus on your determination, focus on your purpose, and persevere through the day. Do not dwell on the morrow. Concentrate on the present. I may err. I may stumble, but I shall rise. I may encounter hardship, but I shall learn. I shall become what I am destined to be, and no force can wrest that from me. For I am who I am. How shall you uncover your essence if you cower in fear of criticism? I know I can strive for better. You might question, why me? Why must I confront such formidable challenges? Why must I encounter obstacles each day at work? Why must I contend with individuals who seek to test me daily? Very well. Here's a mountain. Let us see what I can surmount. Oh dear, yet another obstacle. Let us see how I fare. You cannot traverse this existence without scaling something. If you aspire to ascend, you must climb. If you yearn to reach the next echelon, you must surmount obstacles, challenges, life itself. And you know what? I neglected to mention this. Guess what? Esteemed individuals. You must labor for it. That outcome you ardently desire in your life, that pursuit you chase fervently, how do you suppose you will attain it? It will not materialize overnight. It will not be bestowed upon you. You must persistently climb that mountain. You must persevere. You will stumble numerous times. You will falter. Let me share something with you. There have been countless instances in my life when I stumbled, when I faltered. I did not know how I would rise again, but rise I did. I refused to relinquish my resolve. I reached a juncture where I wished to proceed no further, yet I declared, not today. This shall not come to pass because I know I have a duty to fulfill. You can achieve it, I know you can. But do you believe in yourself? You can. You can't. Yes, you can. Be the person you need to be. But do not become a mere excuse. In between. This is for those who refuse to settle. Those who are okay with stepping into the shadows to prepare for their moment in the spotlight. Our world is filled with constant noise, distractions, and a never-ending stream of notifications. It's all too easy to get swept up in the rush, but sometimes the only way to make real progress is to take a step back and focus on yourself. To delete the apps, turn off the noise, and just disappear for a while. I'm talking about taking a break from the constant demands of life to work on your own goals without all the external pressures. Let's talk about Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple Inc. Jobs was known for his vision and innovation, but he wasn't always at the top. In 1985, he was ousted from Apple, the company he co-founded. It was a shock to him and the tech world, but Jobs didn't let it break him. He took a break, founded a new company called Next, and acquired Pixar. During this time away from Apple, he learned, grew, and gained new perspectives. When Apple was struggling in 1997, they brought Jobs back, and he completely transformed the company, leading it to unprecedented success with products like the iPod, iPhone, and iPad. His break didn't stop him. It fueled his creativity and drive, allowing him to make an incredible comeback. Another powerful example is Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. In 1993, at the height of his career, Jordan shocked the sports world by retiring from basketball to pursue a career in baseball. His decision was influenced by personal reasons, including the tragic loss of his father. Jordan's journey into baseball was filled with challenges and setbacks, but he used this time away from basketball to refocus and heal. After 2 years, he returned to the Chicago Bulls, leading the team to 3 more NBA championships and cementing his legacy as a basketball icon. His break didn't weaken him, it strengthened his resolve and determination. Then there's J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before becoming one of the world's best-selling authors, Rowling faced significant hardships. She was a single mother, living on welfare, struggling with depression, and feeling lost. During this challenging period, Rowling took a break from her previous career and dedicated herself to writing. She spent countless hours in cafes pouring her heart into the manuscript that would become Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Her time away from the conventional workforce allowed her to tap into her creativity and write a story that would captivate millions of readers worldwide. Her break was a turning point, leading her to become one of the most successful authors in history. These stories show that sometimes taking a break is the key to unlocking your true potential. When you step back from the noise and focus on what truly matters, you give yourself the space to grow, learn, and come back stronger than ever. These individuals didn't just disappear for the sake of disappearing. They used their breaks to recharge, refocus, and find new inspiration. Everybody wants success, fulfillment, and the next level. But nobody wants to put in the work behind the scenes, the real work, the grind, the hustle that nobody sees. It's easy to dream about the glory, but much harder to roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty. If you're ready to make a change, it's time to disappear for a while. It's time to shut out the distractions, turn off the noise, and get down to business. Think about it. What would happen if you could focus entirely on your goals for just a few months? If you could eliminate all distractions and just work on yourself, what could you achieve? The public sees the glory, but they don't see the hours of practice, the sleepless nights, and the sacrifices that go into achieving greatness. Can you unplug for just a moment and focus on what truly matters? Why are you here? What is your destiny? These are questions you need to answer for yourself. And you won't find the answers while you're scrolling through social media or binge-watching TV. You find them in the quiet moments, when you're alone with your thoughts, putting in the work when nobody's watching. The reason you're not where you want to be might be because you're not willing to sacrifice what it takes to get there. Sure, it's easy to talk about your goals, plan them out, and even attend conferences to get motivated. But at some point, you need to stop talking and start doing. You need to disappear for a while, put in the work, and then come back and shock everyone who doubted you. This isn't going to be easy. You might have to make sacrifices that nobody else in your life is willing to make. You might have to give up comfort, sleep in your car, or go without food. You might have to work long hours without recognition or validation. But if you're willing to do it, if you're willing to go through the process in the dark room, you'll come out stronger and ready to take on the world. Think about some of the greatest successes in history. The athletes, the innovators, the actors who captivate us. We celebrate them for their achievements, but we don't see the blood, sweat, and tears that went into their success.